Hi, this is Princess, and I'm here with Freedom and Truth. The truth has set you free, blog number 9. And today's truth is the truth about responsibility. Yes, responsibility. I'm gonna take this in a couple different ways, but I'm gonna start because we talked about responsibility today in one of my classes. Ethical responsibility, as far as what obligation do you have to once you feel like something is immoral or wrong or whatever, like what is your ethical responsibility to that issue? And also just simply what do you consider is your responsibilities to everything else in life, and those issues tying into the distance between how we have such a distance between the atrocities that we may see on TV and us saying, oh, that's wrong, and bearing witness, because there's, at this point, with the age of multimedia and movies and photographs and iPhones and everything, like, I think for the majority there's no one who can say they haven't bared witness to atrocities domestically here at home or abroad. So what's the responsibility there? And I mean, this is something that I'm studying, and it's really important because I think, like I said, that idea of responsibility, be it personal or global, plays out like on all levels of our life. In politics, in the community, in our families, in our schools, like whose responsibility is what, and is it honestly true that the responsibility is always begins with self, right? So and that made me, of course, think about my own responsibilities, my own ethical responsibilities in life, and who have I, or what do I think I have certain responsibilities to, and why? Of course, first and foremost, I always feel like I have responsibilities to my family, and I think that's true for most of humanity. And then from there, of course, friends, church, and obviously the reason why I study international relations and ethics and peace. I feel like I have an ethical responsibility to people, cultures that may be distant from me, or that aren't necessarily in my immediate space or my personal space. I feel like I have an ethical responsibility to, I guess, making, quote unquote, the world better or whatever, for whatever that means. But of course, everything kind of ties back to love and relationships. And I came to the realization that I feel like I have, and probably will always have, a responsibility to people who I've loved, to past exes and stuff or whatever. Just out of, I can't envision myself having had someone, in my life, in my space, and having shared and given so much, and not continuing to have a responsibility to that person. I feel like that is important to me, in an ethical way. And also in an intimate way, in a I consider it to be in a loving way, like I consider the love of God, of all those things, but really having a responsibility to who and what God puts into your space. And like going back to bearing witness, like I have learned so much and I know so much, and I have been in the space to see things, and hear stories and all this stuff, and understand the atrocities and pain that, and just conflicts and stuff that happens. So I can't not have, to me personally, I can't not have a responsibility to that, and just the same way as, I can't not have a responsibility to my family who has been put in place in my life and have given me so much, and that just carries on to so many things. Can't not have responsibility to a job that's paying you. And even, aside from the fact that you should love it, your job and all this stuff, and have some type of, responsibility to the mission. But that aside, you also have responsibility because they're paying you. So I think that, especially me being one of those free spirits, as I quote, I accept the term, but as I'm often labeled, I accept the label, that's fine. Responsibility is something that is, I guess you can get away from it. I don't know anybody who's gotten away from it successfully and who's been happy, and who has been a part of a society and been able to get away from responsibility. And I don't want to be, and I don't consider that a definition of freedom. Like, I don't consider freedom being responsibility free, I guess is what I'm saying. And that's just really important. Like, that's the truth of responsibility. Like, there is an ownership, I think, to being free, being alive, being human, having received gifts, having talents to give. And I think responsibility is in line with being free. And I hope that I'm living up to my responsibilities. And I don't know, I think I am. But maybe there's room for growth there, which I'm willing to work on. So that's it for tonight. Freedom and Truth blog number 9. The truth about responsibility. And the truth shall set you free. Good night.